Good day everyone, Editor Sky here. I forgot to do an airport intro, so welcome back to another video. Today I am plane spotting inside Harsfield-Jackson Atlanta Airport on a 4-hour layover to go back to Kent State. I apologize if my voice sounds a little off. I lost my voice yesterday at the Kent vs Miami University men's basketball game, but I digress. So let's jump right in. From pulling into the gate, the first visible tail number is a Delta Connection Bombardier CRJ-900LR registered as November 606 Lima Romeo. The aircraft was originally delivered to Freedom Airlines back on April 25, 2008. Not long after that, it was sold to Pinnacle Airlines on October 1, 2008, before moving on to Atlantic Southeast Airlines on May 1, 2009. She later joined the ExpressJet fleet on December 31, 2011, and then eventually made her way to Endeavour Air on April 18, 2018, where she continued to operate today on behalf of Delta. As of this flight, the aircraft is 17.7 years old. On this day, it was operating a short regional hop from Columbia, South Carolina into Atlanta with a flight time of about 43 minutes. Our next bird of the day is this Delta Airlines Boeing 717-2 Bravo Delta, registered as November 942 Alpha Tango. This aircraft was originally delivered to AirTran Airways back on September 23, 1999. It would remain with AirTran for many years before eventually being sold to Delta Airlines on May 26, 2015, where she continues to operate today. As of this flight, the aircraft is 26.3 years old. It was operating Delta Flight 1140 from Atlanta to Tallahassee with a flight time of 42 minutes. Next is a Delta Airlines Boeing 717-2 Bravo Delta registered as November 922 Alpha Tango. The aircraft was originally delivered to AirTran Airways on June 3, 2005, where it would spend several years flying with AirTran before eventually being sold to Delta Airlines on November 20, 2014, where it continues to operate today. The aircraft first flew on May 18, 2005, and as of this flight is 20.7 years old. Today, she was operating Delta Flight 1604 from Atlanta to Greensboro with a flight time of 52 minutes. You all know me, I'm going to go check out some of the internationals because those are really big and really cool planes. I'll see what I can do because I've got a couple hours. Let's hope I can find something really nice for y'all. But yeah, welcome to Atlanta. First wide body of the day, this is a Delta Airlines Boeing 767-432ER registered as November 829 Mike Hotel. This aircraft was originally delivered to Delta Airlines on August 22, 2000 and has remained with the airline ever since. The aircraft first flew on August 15, 2000 and as of this flight is 25.4 years old. On this day, it was operating Delta Flight 130 from Atlanta to Munich with a flight time of 8 hours and 37 minutes. Next, we have a Virgin Atlantic Airbus A330-343X registered as Golf Victor Sierra X-Ray Yankee. Aircraft first flew on January 12, 2011 before being delivered to Virgin Atlantic on February 24, 2011. The aircraft carries the name Beauty Queen, and as of this flight, the aircraft is about 15 years old, and unfortunately, there's no Flight Radar 24 data available. Next, taxiing by is an SAS Scandinavian Airlines Airbus A330-343E, registered as Lima November Romeo Kilo Sierra. The aircraft first flew on July 10, 2015, before being delivered to SAS on September 25, 2015. The aircraft carries the name Frithjof Viking, continuing SAS's tradition of naming many planes of their aircraft after historical Viking figures. On this day, it was operating SAS 930 from Atlanta to Copenhagen with a flight time of about 8 hours and 19 minutes. Next, we have a Virgin Atlantic Airbus A350-1041 registered as Golf Victor Papa Romeo Delta. The aircraft first flew on June 25, 2019, before being delivered to Virgin Atlantic on October 24, 2019. The aircraft carries the name Rainbow, continuing Virgin Atlantic's tradition of giving many of their aircraft distinctive names, and as of this flight, this aircraft is 6.7 years old. On this day, it was operating Virgin Atlantic Flight 104 from Atlanta to London Heathrow with a flight time of 7 hours and 36 minutes. Next is a Delta Airlines Airbus A330-941neo, registered as November 419 Delta X-Ray. This aircraft first flew on September 13, 2019, before being delivered to Delta Airlines on September 30, 2019, where it continues to operate today. As of this flight, this aircraft is 6.5 years old and was operating Delta Flight 30 from Atlanta to London Heathrow with a flight time of 7 hours and 50 minutes. This is a Delta Airlines Boeing 757-232, registered as November 6705 Yankee. This aircraft first flew on February 23, 2000, under the test registration November 1786 Bravo, before being delivered to Delta Airlines on April 7, 2000. A few years later, this aircraft was transferred to Songs, Delta's low-cost subsidiary, on July 15, 2003. It would later return back to mainline Delta fleet on May 1, 2006, where it continued to operate today. And as of this flight, the aircraft is 26.1 years old. On this day, it was operating Delta Flight 711 from Atlanta to Las Vegas with a flight time of 3 hours and 52 minutes. Next, we have an Delta Airlines Boeing 717-2 Bravo Delta, registered as November 964 Alpha Tango. This aircraft was originally delivered to AirTran Airways on November 29, 1999, and would spend many years flying with AirTran before eventually being sold to Delta Airlines on December 19, 2015, where it continues to operate today. The aircraft first flew on February 23, 2000, and as of this flight is 26.3 years old. On this day, it was operating Delta Flight 2193 from Atlanta to Columbia, South Carolina, with a flight time of about 34 minutes. Hello, Editor Sky here. All the dates are going to be wrong up from this point until now because I had just gotten out of college recently and I'm now getting started back up on this Planespotting Atlanta video. It took me so long to get everything loaded into this computer now, but now that it is, editing should be a lot smoother and should be done in the next couple days. Now we see eye to eye with this lovely Boeing 757-232, registered as number 692 Delta Lima. The aircraft first flew on August 21, 1998 under the test registration November 1798 Bravo, before being delivered to Delta Airlines on September 4, 1998. Unlike many aircraft in Delta's fleet, this Boeing 757 has spent its entire career with the airline, serving passengers for more than 2 decades. As of this flight, the aircraft is 27 years old. On this day, it was operating Delta Flight 2035 from Atlanta to Orlando with a flight time of about 1 hour and 4 minutes. Next, we have a Delta Airlines Boeing 757-351, registered as November 587 November Whiskey. The aircraft first flew on November 25, 2002, before being delivered to Northwest Airlines on December 17, 2002. She would spend the first part of her career flying for Northwest before joining the Delta Airlines fleet as part of the Northwest-Delta merger on December 6, 2009. Today, she continues to serve Delta on both domestic and international routes. She is 23.5 years old, and on this day, she was operating Delta Flight 712 from Atlanta to San Diego with a flight time of 4 hours. For those frequent watchers of my channel, they will know that the 757-300 is by far my favorite aircraft. It just looks so goofy and comically long. It's like something that shouldn't even fly. I don't know why I got a picture without a tail number, all I know is that it's a 737-900. And also a 757-200 without a registration. Nice picture though, minus the glare. This is a Delta Airlines Boeing 737-932ER, registered as November 825 Delta November. The aircraft first flew on July 24, 2014, before being delivered to Delta Airlines on August 7, 2014, where she continues to be operated today. She is 11.9 years old, and on this day, she was operating Delta Flight 3166 from Atlanta to Richmond with a flight time of 1 hour and 5 minutes. This is a Delta Airlines Boeing 757-232, registered as November 696 Delta Lima. The aircraft first flew on January 8, 1999, before being delivered to Delta Airlines on January 27, 1999. A few years later, she was transferred to Song, Delta's low-cost subsidiary, on August 16, 2003. She will later return to the main Delta Airlines fleet on May 1, 2006, where she continues to operate today. She is 27.4 years old, and on this day, she is operating Delta Flight 1450 from Atlanta to New Orleans with a flight time of 1 hour and 7 minutes. Okay, this is a Delta Airlines Boeing 757-232, registered as November 650 Delta Lima. This aircraft first flew May 18, 1989, which is also my birthday, funnily enough, before being delivered to Delta Airlines on June 28, 1989. A few years later, she was transferred to Song, Delta's low-cost subsidiary, and on July 15, 2003. She would later return to the main Delta Airlines fleet on May 1, 2006, where she continues to operate today. Today, November 650 Delta Lima is the second oldest aircraft in Delta's fleet. She is 37 years old and operates in a VIP configuration with only 72 business class style seats, primarily transporting professional and collegiate sports teams on charter flights, which is why it's been going for so long. On this day, she was operating Delta Flight 8918 from Atlanta to Houston Hobby, with a flight time of 1 hour and 39 minutes. This is a Delta Airlines Airbus A330-323 X-Ray registered as November 818 November Whiskey. The aircraft first flew on July 4, 2007 under the test registration Foxtrot Whiskey Whiskey Yankee Delta before being delivered to Northwest Airlines on August 2, 2007. She would spend the early part of her career flying for Northwest before joining the Delta Airlines fleet following the Northwest-Delta merger on December 6, 2009. Today, she continues to operate long-haul international routes across Delta's network. She is 18.9 years old, and on this day, she was operating Delta Flight 176 from Atlanta to Dublin, with a flight time of 7 hours and 16 minutes. Alright, back to the planes. Next, we have a Delta Airlines Boeing 757-351 registered as November 591 November Whiskey. This aircraft first flew on April 17, 2003 before being delivered to Northwest Airlines on June 30, 2003. She would spend the early years of her career flying for Northwest before joining the Delta Airlines fleet through the Northwest-Delta merger. Today, she continues to operate a variety of domestic routes across Delta's network. She is 23.1 years old, and on this day, she was operating Delta Flight 500 from Atlanta to Los Angeles with a flight time of 4 hours and 6 minutes. This is a Delta Airlines Boeing 767-332ER registered as November 186 Delta November. This aircraft first flew on June 26, 1995 before being delivered to Delta Airlines on July 7, 1995, where she stays for her entire career. She is 30.9 years old, and on this day, she was operating Delta Flight 34 from Atlanta to Edinburgh with a flight time of 7 hours and 5 minutes. We come face to face with another Boeing 757-4. This is a Delta Airlines Airbus A321-211 registered as November 386 Delta November. The aircraft first flew on October 12, 2019 under the test registration Delta Alpha Zulu Victor Romeo before being delivered to Delta Airlines on October 16, 2019. She is 6.6 years old on this day and was operating Flight 2893 from Atlanta to San Antonio with a flight time of 1 hour and 52 minutes. This is a Delta Airlines Boeing 757-351 registered as November 589 November Whiskey. The aircraft first flew January 15, 2003 before being delivered to Northwest Airlines on March 3, 2003. She would spend the earlier years of her career flying for Northwest before joining the Delta Airlines fleet following the Northwest-Delta merger on January 1, 2010. Today, she continued to operate a variety of domestic routes across the Delta network. She is 23.4 years old, and on this day, she was operating Delta Flight 763 from Atlanta to Los Angeles with a flight time of 4 hours and 11 minutes. That thing is moving. Sorry to find that spot so late. That's a really goated spot. It's by gate Bravo 36 and basically captures a bunch of ground movements and 2 runway takeoffs and landings. There's probably the same thing if the runways are being used on the opposite way. But yeah, that is awesome. And I wish I knew about that earlier, because then I would have taken full advantage of that. But instead, I've been walking around the airport all night thinking I failed because I didn't get that many videos and photos of aircrafts. But not until now, so there we go. On my walk back, I saw this picture-worthy 717 just chilling at its gate. It's also getting dark, so I guess perfect timing to stop Planespotting and get to my flight, because we start boarding, I think, in like 30 minutes. So I should have plenty of time. I'm also probably going to grab some food when I'm at my gate. My gate's confirmed and all that stuff. And I guess I'll end off the Planespotting part here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the skies.